I think that if you use restorative practice to learn, you kind of get a voice and you are more confident on your abilities, and you know what you can do and what you can't, what you need to work on, and you feel safe, and you kind of have a tight-knit community that makes you feel even more confident and allows you to try your best and succeed at whatever you want to succeed at.
I am Matt, and my favourite thing was finding out what the past was like without restorative practice, because it was good to see how things was changed, how they dealt with like people who went to prison and how they got punished differently to how they did now.
Hello, my name is Alice, and one of the things we did was we went door to door knocking with the police. When we went knocking on the doors, most of the people said that kids don't have nothing to do, so they just like vandalise things and stuff like that. Most of them said that it was adults as well, not just the kids, so there was like setting bad examples for them.
Yes, the kids are alright though, there's nothing for the kids to do around here at all. So obviously they hang about under the arch, like we live next to an arch, so they hang about under the arch. Very noisy, but if you go out and tell them to move on, some will move on, some give you a bit of verbal abuse. But at the end of the day it's because they've got nothing else to do.
From that we learnt that we need to do, like our campaign should be about a youth club that kids would like want to go to and not just be bored all the time. The thing that stood out for me was when we went to the court and we had to pretend that we were in the past, and we had to be in this situation where a child was being asked to go inside a chimney and clean it when cleaning chimneys were banned, and me and Sally had to pretend to be this man called Lord Booth. That story was a true story, and we had to make a new version of how to solve that problem now if we were in that past then.
My name is Josh. We interviewed Nigel Richardson and Alan Johnson. They talked about the different things in RP, and we asked them questions like, are they familiar with RP, and they both said yeah, they are.
And all the things we've talked about are so political, fundamentally political, whether it's alcohol abuse or whether it's, you know, the poor reputation of the city or crime and antisocial behaviour. You are the future, therefore you're the people who are going to be voting in the future. So it's really important that you do feel part of the city and do have an influence.
We were employed by Hull Museum's Education Service to work with a group of young people from Endeavour School to help them develop campaigning skills and to look at the principles around restorative practices in order to develop a campaign that meant something to them and that was to do with their lives in Hull. The young people were keen to do something that was about putting something back into the community. We'd looked at one particular film, which is called Free Hugs, which was a YouTube film, and they were kind of quite impressed with the way that worked. And so they came up with the idea that perhaps they could go into Hull city centre and give flowers away, just to see what kind of reaction that they got. And that in itself was quite a restorative thing to do, because it was about putting something back and just, you know, doing something that was going to raise a smile and make a connection with people.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
I enjoyed giving out the flowers to people in the community because it was funny to see their reactions, and it was good to see them happy when we gave them the flower, and they was really grateful.
Hi, my name is Sally, and one of the things we did was we went around like different places like to film a video for Our Perfect World, and my favourite part was when I felt like I had a say like what I wanted, like everybody had their own say what they wanted in the world. And we all went to different locations, like Mig went to the graveyard and Fatima was at the bus stop and stuff, and we all had different thoughts of what we wanted in our world, but some of them was very similar.
We work with the young people to look at their ideas of what a perfect world is. We went around the estate and the streets around Endeavour School and took photographs around the school and kind of thought about what's good about the community, what's good about the way it works, and what's bad about the way it works. So all of the young people wrote about their ideas about a perfect world, and then we filmed them in their community and basically just put the two things together. So you got the kind of contrast between the reality of where they live, which is sometimes good and sometimes not so good, and what their hopes and dreams were for the future. I think that made a really poignant film as well, and that was shown as part of the exhibition.
I think the flowers video was to show what we want the world to be like. People doing silly charitable things for one another, not expecting anything in return, just a smile and happiness. And Our Perfect World was to illustrate what we think could be achieved through RP, making communities tighter and somehow giving everyone a voice so they could be heard and have confidence and succeed at what they want to succeed at.
I'm Laurie Gibbons, and I've been on the project for a year with the Hull Museum Project students. During the year I've seen them grow as people through the use of restorative practice and also taking part in this project. I think they've developed all sorts of life skills. They've definitely grown in confidence. They feel able to talk to anybody from any walk of life. I've been really impressed by the way they've been able to deliver the presentation with nerves at the beginning, but then once they actually started to speak, actually to do a fantastic performance, really. Really incredibly impressed and very, very proud. For me, this is the right way to deliver certainly history to children in school. It's far, far better than sitting in a classroom looking at boring books being spoken to by a teacher who's full of knowledge, but it doesn't really engage the kids in the past, and I think this project has engaged the kids in the past. I think they've been able to compare it to their own lives now, which we've heard about today, and for them now it's real life, and it's made them appreciate their own lifestyles more.
I think I've learned more about the people in the group and about everybody more, and what people are like and the personalities.
I think I've got life experience from this because it's teach me how to go around situations differently than I did before using RP.
I liked the phrase that Mika said, to make school cool.
I think the people in power are starting to listen more than they did before, because they're starting to realise we are the future and we are mature, and we should affect what happens around us and what will affect our growing up.